Ladies and gentlemen, this is Blacktop. We are at the Thompson International Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut for the second round of this year's DIRT-Asphalt Challenge. All of the dirt modified stars have arrived here in the early afternoon, and some are trying to repair their cars or actually change their cars over after running on the dirt the Saturday night before. Others, like Barefoot Bob McCreadie and Geoff Bodine, who will be in the Billy Taylor #1, are already set in their asphalt-style cars. But we asked dirt star Danny Johnson what it's like driving two surfaces in a 24-hour span. Danny Johnson of Phelps, New York, won at Canandaigua on Saturday night. Then he makes the 7-hour trip all the way to Thompson, Connecticut for the second dirt asphalt race of the year. Right now, only an hour and a half before race time, they're working on the car and changing it over. Danny, after coming from Canandaigua and having to drive all night long, and then you get here, is it really difficult trying to change the car over for a whole different surface?
Well, with the time span that we have is what makes it so difficult. You know, the work itself isn't so difficult, just trying to get it done within the time that we have.
What about yourself? Does it affect your driving? Does it affect your mentality at all?
No, I don't think so.
What about your year so far? It seems to have been stupendous, and the last time you made this whole trip up to Sanair, it worked out very well in your favor.
Yeah, we're just hoping to, you know, have some more good luck this race. We'll have to see what happens, I guess.
One more question. What about, or what if you had a team like Brett Hearn with a major sponsor? What if all you had to do was come in and drive the car? What would you say to that?
I didn't make it a little easier. I don't know. You know, we're doing all right the way we are here. You know, I'm not complaining too much.
Well, good luck. Hopefully you'll repeat your performance from earlier this year.
Okay, thank you.
When warm-ups were done, Danny Johnson was on the pole position for the first qualifying heat, with Honda Speedway star A.J. Romano on the outside. Other top dirt drivers racing in this event included Dave Lape in the 22 and Barefoot Bob McCreadie in the #9. Also, NASCAR Winston Cup star Kenny Schrader starts 8th in the Red Baron Frozen Pizza number 91. Danny Johnson was able to get the jump at the beginning of the event with Dave Lape and Mike Jeffrey, last year's dirt modified rookie, very close behind as Barefoot Bob McCreadie worked the inside. In fact, Dave Lape and Barefoot Bob worked the inside good enough to get by Johnson on the next lap by. Still, the foot was on the prowl, and Dave Lape's lead was short-lived. But as you'll notice, there's one driver that seems to have the upper hand, and it's not McCreadie, because flying through the pack is Winston Cup star Ken Schrader in his number 91, and he's the only guy using the outside cushion of the speedway, or perhaps he likes the dirt that's on the inside of turn number 4. Either way, he challenges Dave Lape for a number of laps and eventually decides that the outside is still the better spot, even if you give it a little slide. McCreadie definitely had the strongest car in the first qualifying heat as he crossed the line far in front of the second-place finisher. And this still raises the controversy that existed on dirt all year long about the A-frames. Larry Newber had a chance to talk to McCreadie.
When it comes to ideas, sometimes brand new is not always best. Often the good old-fashioned way is better. Just ask Bob McCreadie.
Well, the A-frames have been around since the 30s, so I mean, it's nothing new, it's just new to our circuit. I think almost every race car in the country right now, except maybe sprint cars, uses the independent suspension. So it's new for us, but it's sure not new. Yeah.
Bob, why take, and it is somewhat of a chance, why go back to this?
Well, the blacktop, basically. You know, we're at a stage now where we're starting to really run some fast speeds. And if you've ever driven a pickup truck over a rough road, that's what it's like driving our dirt cars on the blacktop. It's just it's a lot easier car to drive. It's more forgiving. It feels better to the driver. As far as sure lap times, the straight axle still will go just as quick as this. Maybe not as long, but as quick.
Now, Winston Cup stock cars use this basic design too. Does that mean that there's going to be more science and technology, research and development, information that's available to you?
I'm sure that all forms of racing that uses the independent, we can cross-reference to us, and it's just like opening a new door, but maybe this isn't the way we want to go. I know a lot of guys feel that maybe that's not the way dirt should be heading, and maybe it's more expensive. I don't know. You know, for us at this stage in time, we thought it was a thing to do for these blacktop races and for Syracuse. This car's built for Syracuse, and you know, we just in the spring we made up our schedule, and the blacktop races were of paramount importance to us, so we gave it our best shot.
Cleanse your mind for a moment of the research, of the new equipment, of any additional cost, all those other outside factors, and think about pavement racing as a race driver. Do you like it?
I think a driver is a driver, is a spoiled kid. Big kids, we have a ball. I think we like to race. I don't think it would matter if it was blacktop, dirt, or in those trees, or who can swing the furthest, or who's the best, you know. And I think that's pretty normal with the race car guys. So I mean, I like the blacktop. It's different, it's unique, it's a new challenge, and it's a new game for us. I'm enjoying it. Of course, our car's going real well, and when the car's going well, you can have a real good time. When it's not going well, it can be really tough.
All the dirt stars were in the second qualifying heat. Brett Hearn, Jack Johnson, Frank Cozy, Doug Hoffman, Kenny Tremont, and Pat Ward. Some of the top dirt stars that race on the School Racing Super Dirt Series were here. Jack Johnson took the early advantage, car number 12A, and moving up quickly through the field is the number 3, the Pete McNell-owned car, formerly driven by Randy Slack, today being driven by Reggie Ruggerio. Ruggerio normally races here in asphalt-type modifieds at Thompson. He also competes in Winston modifieds in another circuit. But today he would definitely show the dirt stars the quick way around the 5/8 mile oval. So he closed in, and a wounded Brett Hearn, who was definitely out to lunch in the second heat, let Ruggerio by on the inside as he drifted wide. And then he started closing in on Jumpin' Jack. Slipping and sliding through turns 3 and 4, Jumpin' Jack almost bumbles, but he takes the win over Ruggerio and Brett Hearn. What makes a successful race team? Many consider it to be luck or skill, but in Brett Hearn's case, he considers it to be dedication.
Well, I think, Brian, that it takes dedication certainly on the part of the driver, but I think people don't realize how much of a commitment it is to be able to do this type of series where we run 4 or 5 nights a week and try to run our regular Saturday night tracks, and they've got us bouncing back between Connecticut and Ontario, Canada, back-to-back days, and I think that it's just an amazing commitment on everyone's part, not only my own, but my crew and my owner, and it's damn tiring on everybody.
Brett, when we look at your season in 1988 and compare it to your season in 1989, there's a difference. Last year was mediocre. This year's successful. Where is it flowing? Where's it coming from?
Well, I think our biggest problem last year, well, we had 2 problems, I think. Mainly, we started the season unprepared. And if you start the season unprepared, you never get caught up, it seems. Not when we try to run the schedule that we run. Maybe you could be unprepared at the beginning of the season. If you only run a limited schedule, you could catch up. But when you try to run the number of races that we run, if you're unprepared in April, you're certainly unprepared in August. And I think that was our biggest difference this year, that we came out with a strong game plan. We came out with our equipment ready to go in April. And even though we're showing signs of wear and tear just like everybody else is right now, that we were ready to start the season, and it's carried through the whole season for us.
You talk about the preparation, and we talk about skill and determination and dedication, but there's also that factor of luck in modified racing. This year it seems whether it's bad luck or good luck, you're fast. How do you compensate for the luck?
Well, you've got to be fast to be in the right position to get lucky, first of all. But I think, and you know, we've all heard it a million times, that luck is really where preparation meets opportunity. And I think that's what we see this year. We're in the proper position to get lucky more times than not, and I think that's what really is showing through as far as luck is concerned this year.
Former Thompson track champion and former Daytona 500 winner Geoff Bodine came home victorious in the 3rd qualifying heat as he waltzed home over the rest of the field in the Billy Taylor number 1. Back in the glory days of asphalt racing, Geoff Bodine was one of the golden boys. Richie Evans, Jerry Cook, and Geoff could go anywhere and win. He went on to Winston Cup, but today he's back at Thompson International Speedway, returning to his roots, this time in a modified of different sorts. Geoff, how's it feel to be back here at Thompson?
Like home. Driving a red car, number 1, used to do that a lot here at Thompson, and we used to win a lot, so it feels really good.
Do you expect to win this race today?
Well, we're going to try. You know, you never know how you're going to come out in this sport. Racing's a tough sport, but all you can do is try and hope that you come out on top.
It is the custom before each Dirt Skull Racing Super Dirt Series event to draw for starting spots in the 89-lap features. Larry Newber's down on the track, organizing the skull cans that have the numbers on the back. But he didn't organize them well enough, at least for the first guy to draw, the winner of the first qualifying heat, barefoot Bob McCreadie. And down trackside, Joe Murata was completely amazed.
I don't believe it. The pole, ladies and gentlemen.
While the rest of the field looks on in disbelief, they realize that an A-frame, probably the fastest car on the track, is starting up front, and they're going to have to chase him. So Ken Schrader, Winston Cup star, driver of the Red Baron Frozen Pizza number 91, steps up and decides to play a little trick on announcer Joe Murata. Oh, what? Hold on. No, he doesn't have another number 1. Barefoot Bob McCreadie gave him that one. He does have 2 1s, though. He'll start 11th. Now the question on everyone's mind is Bob McCreadie going to finally win one of these dirt asphalt races? And is Ken Schrader going to perform as well as he did in Sanair? Here's Larry Nuber and Joe Murata for the start of our event.
Good evening, everyone. You know, when they opened this racetrack in 1939, they did something else very unusual. They paved it. And since that time, no division of race cars designed and built primarily to run on dirt have ever competed here. But all that changes tonight as DIRT comes to Thompson. Now, this is actually the 3rd time that DIRT has raced on pavement. The first one was a year ago at the Cayuga Speedway, not too far from Toronto, when one of racing's Saturday night specials with Jack Cottrell behind the wheel won. And earlier this year, Winston Cup star Kenny Schrader won on the Sanair Super Speedway. That's not too far from Montreal. Both races have been full of suspense. Joe, do you expect the same kind of drama here at Thompson tonight?
I certainly do, because of the dirt cars designed to running on the dirt. The weight transfer, it's going to scrub a lot of tires, it's going to burn up a lot of rubber, and your leaders are going to start falling off very quick. They are set up for pit stops, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
You know, we have some pavement ringers here. Ken Schrader from Winston Cup is here, Geoff Bodine, Reggie Ruggerio. Do the dirt regulars have a chance?
Bob McCreadie looked very, very fast in his qualifying heat. Never count out Jack Johnson. And, of course, Danny Johnson. He's the type of guy, he learns a lot. He lost up there in Sanair, but I know he learned from Kenny Schrader getting by him. He abused his tires up there. He'll stand by on his tires here.
Well, the man who may have the best seat closest to the action tonight is down in the pits right now. He's Brian Spade.
Thanks, Larry. We're down here trackside. Note as the cars pull away, Barefoot Bob is first, Geoff Bodine is starting 3rd. A lot of the teams are planning not to pit to try to keep up with those A-frame cars. We're going to go up to the booth with Joe Murata for the start of today's race.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. We ran a little contest when we were down there trackside. We're going to do it all over again. We want all of you racing fans from turn number 4 all the way down to turn number 1. Come on, we want you to get up. We want you to pick up a program or one of the racing papers, and when they come by again, we want you to wave to one of your favorites out there. All right, everybody up. Come on. Let's not sit there. Come on, dirt track fans, get up. Asphalt fans, get up. Don't be outdone now. Asphalt fans, you can't let more dirt fans stand up. Come on. Everybody get up. Over there, turn number 4. Here in the front straightaway, turn number 1. Grab a hat, grab one of the racing papers. All right. Who's going to be wearing a hot shoe out there tonight? Is it going to be Danny Johnson? Come on, let them hear it right now. Is it going to be Danny Johnson in the 27, or is it going to be Billy Decker? Is it going to be Brett Hearn or Sammy Rogers? How about Kenny Schrader? What about Bob McCreadie? Come on, let them hear it as they come by here in the front straightaway. How about Mike Perotti or Dougie Hoffman? Or how about the big red number 1 of Geoff Bodine? Okay. We're about set to ready to go racing right now. Good job, race fans. Those drivers certainly appreciate it, and we're set to go to work. The pace car's still out there right now. Getting set, buckling in just a little bit more. The psychological lap. It looks like they're waving in the parade pace cars off of turns number 3 and 4 as they come down the front straightaway. Bob McCreadie, Mike Perotti will set the pace when the pace car departs the speedway. Yellow lights are off. Get set. Hold on to those kids, ladies and gentlemen, because I'll tell you, when they cut them loose, these big block modifieds are going to go to work for you. Watch them out there. Who's going to be wearing a hot shoe tonight? Is it going to be Reggie Ruggerio back there in car number 3? Or is it going to be car number 12A, Jumpin' Jack Johnson? Or how about that 76 of Kenny Brightbill? Right now, the pace car is going to be giving them a whole lot of room. Charlie Rudolph looks to the outside. Mark Fleury and he staring at each other as they go down that back straightaway. Pace car getting out of the way. I'll tell you, I can feel the tension out there. Barefoot Bob McCreadie and Mike Parati sets the pace up there between turns number 3 and 4. Hold on to them kids. Here they come. Big block, dirt track, and modifieds ready to rumble down the front straightaway. Green lights are on, and we're up to racing speed. All right, Parati up on the outside, goes up into the early lead. Moving down between turns number 1 and 2 and off the second corner. It's Parati. Look at McCreadie now. McCreadie hustles the Syracuse frame service car number 9. We've got a car in trouble over there as he goes up high. It's Joe Buchek. Joe Buchek in trouble. Car number 11M. He's in a little bit of trouble. Sets up there in between 3 and 4. And let's see if he clears. McCreadie is now up there to the number 1 spot. Look who's taken away the number 2 position, ladies and gentlemen. Winston Cup star, Geoff Bodine. Bodine is up to the number 2 spot. It's Parati riding back there in 3rd. Dougie Hoffman runs in the number 4 position. Back there 5th, it's Billy Decker. Danny Johnson is 6th. Charlie Rudolph is 7th. The sparks begin to fly just a little bit as they get down into the corner. They move down the back straightaway. McCreadie holding onto a narrow lead. He sparks going down into the turn. Heavy on fuel. Here comes Bodine looking down deep on the inside. But McCreadie a little bit more horsepower. McCreadie pulls on him going down into turns number 1 and 2. Bodine rides right there in the number 2 spot. It's still Parati riding back there 3rd. They drag race down the back straightaway. Here they come working in turns number 3 and 4. It's McCreadie right in that fast lane. Bodine picks up the draft coming out the front straightaway. Bodine looks down on the inside, but now he stays right there on the back bumper. Bodine and McCreadie, and here comes Bodine. He's looking to slingshot. Will he go for it? Bodine shows a wheel down on the inside. 4 laps have been completed. Bodine gets down on the inside, showing the Nerf bars. It's still Parati back there 3rd. Dougie Hoffman running 4th. Dicker is 5th. Back there in 6th spot is Danny Johnson. It looks like Brett Hearn coming up through. Charlie Rudolph running 7th. Hearn is 8th. Davey Late back there 9th. Leaders will soon be encountering some traffic. And a barefoot wonder out of Watertown, New York, staying up there in front, holding off the best of Geoff Bodine. Bodine looks up on the outside lane. Now he looks to go back down on the inside. Here he comes. Bodine backs out of it over there in the number 3 corner. Bodine putting the pressure on McCreadie. McCreadie still your leader as he gets by some traffic. McCreadie will use the traffic a little bit to his advantage. Takes him up high. McCreadie gets by Buchek and now goes by the 525 of Jerry Morgan. Morgan holding on, and Morgan going down a lap to the leaders. It's still McCreadie in front, Bodine running 2nd. Mike Parati holding on to 3rd. Dougie Hoffman running 4th. Hoffman, car number 125, is your 4th place runner. And moving up, Billy Decker is 5th. Danny Johnson is 6th. Brett Hearn is running 7th. Leader Bob McCreadie now trapped in traffic. Here comes Bodine up on the outside. Bodine backs out of there. They're in between some slower cars. Here comes McCreadie getting by, I believe, Mike Romano out there in turn number 2. And now he sets the sails on Wyan Earp as they go down the back straightaway. McCreadie using the traffic to his advantage. 9 laps are in, 80 laps remain here in this Skoal shootout event. Barefoot Bob McCreadie sets the rapid pace now. Still traffic in front of him, and right there behind him, and here he goes. He unleashes the horsepower. Almost had him. Bodine almost got down underneath, but McCreadie was up in that fast lane, negotiating some traffic. Move over flag is out. McCreadie staying on the top. He drew the pole, and he's been up there since the number 1 position. Down on the inside, he's getting by some slower traffic going down the back straightaway. Bodine follows right in tow. Back there still 3rd is Mike Parati. Dougie Hoffman still running in the number 4 position. A little bit of smoke coming out of one of the cars out there. Leader Bob McCreadie staying up on that outside lane. And we may have a car slowing coming down the front straightaway here as he drops down on the inside apron. McCreadie now going up, way up on the outside to get by the traffic. He's going by Richie Urich. in car number 10, and also Kenny Tremont. 13 laps have been completed, and barefoot Bob McCreadie out of Watertown, New York, showing what he's made out of. Moving down in between turns number 3 and 4. Now Bodine is going to go to the outside. A little bit of breathing room out there. A little bit of breathing room for McCreadie as he's got by the traffic, but now it's turn for Bodine to try him up on that outside lane. Down the back straightaway, in between turns number 3 and 4. Bodine again trying up on the outside lane. Now Bodine looks to the inside. A.J. Romano about ready to be lapped, and he goes down a lap. Mike Pirani is still running third. Dougie Hoffman running fourth. Your fifth place runner is Billy Decker. Brett Hearn is sixth. Danny Johnson is seventh. Here's the leader swinging out of turn number 4 down that front straightaway. 15, 16 laps are in. Heavy traffic will be coming up on the leaders in just a couple of laps. And it looks like McCreadie can pull away at will from Bodine as they go down that back straightaway. But Bodine closes it up over in turns number 3 and 4. Carl Fuzzy Van Horn, car number 71E, next car in line to be lapped by McCreadie and Bodine. 17 laps have been completed. Down the back straightaway. Look at this traffic jam as they enter the number 3 corner. McCreadie goes to the outside. McCreadie looking for the room to go racing. Move over flag is out. And here comes Bodine. Bodine is up to the number 1 spot. Bodine takes the lead. Working off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Bodine is your leader. McCreadie is second. Traffic spelled the difference, but it can work the opposite way right now. Jumping Jack Johnson now. About ready and Carl Fuzzy Van Horn. It's Bodine up there in front. Geoff Bodine gets up a little bit wide. McCreadie wants to pull in on him. Off of turn number 2 and down that back straightaway. Geoff Bodine leads going down into that tricky number 3 corner. Ready to back out of it if he has to. But if he does, the dangerous Bob McCreadie is right there. And McCreadie now makes the move to the inside. McCreadie tries to go to the inside of Van Horn. And Van Horn goes down a lap. And now McCreadie wants to go on the outside of him. McCreadie clears the traffic. McCreadie looking for room to go racing, some hot dog racing. Geoff Bodine staying up there in front. Bodine now goes up to the high side part of the speedway. He's got heavy traffic. Here comes McCreadie moving right in on him. McCreadie setting back there. Bodine breaks through the traffic first. Dave Leif going down a lap to the leaders. McCreadie now wants to work on Leif to get up the challenge. Third place runner is Mike Pirani. Hoffman is fourth, and we've got caution out onto the speedway as we've got a car in trouble midway portion of the back straightaway. And I'll tell you, 22 laps have been completed. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to pick out one thing for you on these dirt modifieds. When the yellow lights come on, each and every one of these dirt track and modifieds are equipped with the race safe system. When they're coming by here in the front straightaway, kind of look inside the cockpits of those modifieds, and on many of them you'll see a yellow light glaring in front of them. When the caution lights come onto the speedway, automatically a radio transmitter transmits a signal to their cars to turn that yellow light onto the dashboard, indicating to the driver that they're under yellow flag conditions. That yellow light will stay on until they pull the pace car, I believe, off the racetrack, and they get set to go back to green flag racing. This has been a mandatory rule by the dirt modifieds effective in this month of May, and it's a very, very safe system, and it's called the race safe system. Look inside as they come by the front straightaway here. You'll be able to see those yellow lights on many of the dashboards or somewhere within the cockpit of those cars. Well, Rich, 24 laps are in, and what do you think of the dirt modifieds?
I'll tell you, I'm about as impressed with these guys as you were in the late model stock cars. They are putting on one heck of a show. Geoff Bodine has been incredible here tonight in Billy Taylor's car. Bob McCreadie very quick also. But I've been watching one of our own drivers, Reggie Ruggerio, out of Forestville, I believe, according to my unofficial count, has climbed a ladder to 5th spot right now in the number 3 car. And Reggie started way back in 14th. So the driver out of Forestville, Connecticut, I believe, and by my count right now, unofficially, I have him in 5th spot right now in the number 3 car. He is absolutely tearing up the racetrack, and it'll be interesting to see how this restart affects him, as he'll get a chance now to hopefully come up and run with Geoff Bodine and Bob McCreadie.
Rich, one of the things we'd like to point out to you race fans here at Thompson, the leader under the dirt rules has the option to go either inside or outside lane. And Geoff Bodine says, hey, I'm no fool. That outside lane is definitely the quicker of the two, so I'm going to hook up out there. Now, you know, we were saying that this is the 3rd of the asphalt races. This is the first time stateside here in the United States. This is also the first time under the lights. So the track condition is much cooler here right now, and they may not be abusing those tires as they did at Sanair or Cayuga, Canada last month and last year. And of course, they've learned to set up the cars a lot better. But look at pit row. Look right down there. They're set if they have to change any tires. Right now, they're not going to change any tires. We're going to go back racing. It's McCreadie on the inside. Leader Geoff Bodine in the Billy Taylor number 1. Working up there between turns number 3 and 4. We've got a car in trouble. The caution lights will remain out. We've got a car in trouble. It may be car number 525. I believe Jerry Morgan. That car may have popped out of gear, and he's had a little bit of problem keeping it going out there. So now they reset, realign, going down the back straightaway. Psychologically right now, this is the tension lap. McCreadie, no shabby restarter, and neither is Geoff Bodine, Winston Cup star, former modified star, ready to go to work. And here's McCreadie, takes on all comers. Green lights are on. Hammer down, drag race here in the front straightaway. Wow, do they turn on that horsepower. They get down there into that number 1 corner, and it's Bodine leading them out of the number 2 corner. McCreadie lays back there in the number 2 spot. Karate running back in the number 3 position. Your 4th place runner is car number 125, Dougie Hoffman. Hoffman riding back there in 4th spot. Your 5th place runner is Reggie Ruggerio in car number 3. Keep your eyes on him as he comes working between the corners. Bodine sparking just a little bit as they go down in between turns number 3 and 4. Here comes Bodine working out a front straightaway. Karate now in car number 35 seems to be able to stay with McCreadie. Moving down off that number 2 corner. McCreadie breathing pretty easy now as he goes down in between turns number 3 and 4, trying to close in on leader Bodine. One car might be in trouble as they come off of turn number 2. I believe it's the triple nickel of Richie Smith out of Kunkeltown, Pennsylvania. And Smith looking for pit row. He dives down there safely out of harm's way. The leader working down off in turn number 4. Bodine in the Billy Taylor number 1. McCreadie is 2nd. Karate is 3rd. The 125 of Hoffman is 4th. Reggie Ruggerio is 5th. Your 6th place runner, I believe, is Brett Hearn in car number 6. Down that back straightaway, in between the corners, Bodine having a field day out there in the Billy Taylor number 1. Remember, this race, a $50,000 purse, $8,000 going to the winner. They hoof it down that back straightaway, down into turns number 3 and 4. Leaders again will be coming up into slower traffic, and the move over flag is out. Here comes Reggie Ruggerio now. Look at Ruggerio getting by the fuzzy Van Horn, number 71E. He is a lap car, Van Horn. Ruggerio wants to get moving up there just a little bit, and he would like to be in striking distance with the leaders. As the leaders come by, we've got 34 laps in. 34 is this 89 lap. Skoll Racing Super Dirt Qualifier for the Big Block Dirt Modified. Bob McCreadie staying back here in that number 2 position. McCreadie trying not to abuse those tires. And I'm sure you're going to see a shootout the last 10 to 20 laps here because they know these tires can go away real quick. McCreadie, though, sparking heavily in turn number 2. Here comes your leader, Bodine. Bodine staying up and on the outside of traffic. Geoff Bodine, car number 1. Now working up on the 97 again of Mike Romano. He gets by him. Bodine works down that back straightaway. He's going to be in heavy traffic. McCreadie just keeping him in view right now. Works off at turn number 4, down the front straightaway, a long front straightaway, and some heavy traffic coming up. McCreadie still running 3rd, Hoffman running 4th, and Reggie Ruggerio is clean up now into the number 5 position. Ruggerio in the Canadian number 3 is running 5th and putting the pressure on Dougie Hoffman for that number 4 position. They're traveling up there between turns number 3 and 4. Leader Bodine in heavy traffic now as he goes sailing down that back straightaway. Bodine is caught up in traffic. Here comes McCreadie. We got a car in trouble. It could be Danny Johnson. It could be car number 27J, Danny Johnson. The caution light's coming out. And Danny, I don't know if he's got trouble with the power department or tire problems. It appears that he is running on his own power coming down the front straightaway, and we'll see whether he's going to elect to stay out there or take it into the pit area. He's remaining out there. Apparently Richie wants to just get down the lane and get into the pit area and get some work done on that 27J.
The Danny Johnson crew seems to have packed things up. They don't seem to understand what is wrong with their man. Danny is coasting around turn 3. We've got Sean Parker. Sean, what's the problem? Do you know?
He broke a drive line.
So I guess you're done for the night.
Yes.
A tough break after a great win last night at Canandaigua, and you were coming back trying to win it here again.
Yeah, we're trying to do the best we can.
All right, Danny Johnson's out of the race. It's a tough break for one of DIRT's top stars.
The laps are being counted. Of course, not only is there a big purse here tonight, but the complete Skoal A+ qualifying series carries a tremendous purse for the point fund, and Danny Johnson, if possible, would like to take that car in, get some repairs, and get back out there just to stay in the point chase. We'll kind of look up here. Danny is currently running 4th in the point standings, 664 points. But get this, so far this year, just under the Skoal Racing Super Dirt Series program, he has earned $20,275. By the way, point leader Brett Hearn has earned $33,410 in just 11 races. So not a bad payoff for all of these races, in particular here on this Asphalt Challenge event, where it does carry a $50,000 purse, $8,000 going to the winner. That's not a bad paycheck, Rich, almost as big as yours tonight.
Almost, yeah, not quite.
Well, again, the double file restart, 41 laps are in here in this Skoal Super Dirt Series qualifier, and again, Geoff Bodine elects to go to the outside lane on the restart. The Thompson Speedway pace car pulls off the racing surface. We're set to go back racing right now, up in turns number 3 and 4. Watch them as they come down in between the corners. Bodine on the outside, McCreadie on the inside. Green lights are on, and Bodine blasts off first. Bodine way up there on the front side again as he works off at turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. McCreadie trying to stay right there. Mike McCreadie running a good number 3 spot. It is Dougie Hoffman running 4th, and Reggie Ruggerio running in the number 5 position. And Reggie Ruggerio looking to go racing up on the outside now. I believe your 6th place runner is Brett Hearn. Pat Ward, car number 42P. R.C. Putman car in a little bit of trouble, and Ward is pulling out of harm's way. McCreadie now seems to be drawn in on the big red number 1, the Billy Taylor number 1. McCreadie in car number 9, holding on to that number 2 spot. Reggie Ruggerio has moved up to 4th, and Ruggerio, ladies and gentlemen, is on the move as he is working on McCreadie. We're up to the halfway point. Here he comes down that front straightaway, half hold in this 89-lap qualifying event. Reggie backs out of it in turn number 1 as the car developed a push up there, and he, sportsmanlike, backed out of it so he didn't touch Perotti. Perotti rides right in that number 3 position. Reggie Ruggerio runs over there in the number 4 position. Hoffman is 5th. Brett Hearn runs in 6th spot. Kenny Brightville is running back there in 7th position in the Parker bus number 76. Watch that battle right now for 3rd spot. Here comes Bodine, your leader, down the front straightaway. We're going to put a clock on him this time around to see just how fast he's going. McCreadie may be just playing the cat and mouse game right now as he wants to save those tires to the end. Down in between turns number 3 and 4. Here comes the leader. Off at turn 4 and down the front straightaway. 20.43. Nobody is holding back. They got all the plungers out. Well, Russ, what do you think so far up into this beyond the halfway point?
I'll tell you, at this particular point in time, Joe, I'm absolutely amazed that these cars and these drivers are holding up as well as they are. I was convinced early on that the first 20 to 25 laps would be terrific racing, and then we'd see a lot of cars begin to drop out. I thought that this asphalt would seriously take a toll on these race cars. That has not been the case, and I'm absolutely thrilled with the competition we've got here this evening.
Mark Lyon, crew chief on the Reggie Ruggerio, car number 3. Well, he's catching the 2 front cars.
Not bad. We were talking about pitting, but I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens.
He started towards the rear, but he's made a good charge. Do you think his experience here at the track is the most positive thing?
Helps a lot because he runs more up in the groove. If you noticed in warm-ups today, most of the guys were running down the bottom, which ain't the quick way around.
Can he catch Bodine and McCreadie?
Try.
Reggie Ruggerio is going to give it his best shot.
No question about it. But now McCreadie, and we've got a new 3rd place runner. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Ruggerio has moved into 3rd, and that's the qualifying spot. And look at the battle for the number 1 position again. Bodine on the outside. McCreadie trying to close right in on him. Barefoot Bob McCreadie hanging it right in. Here comes McCreadie on the inside. McCreadie tried to use a lap car to his advantage. It didn't work that time, but keep your eyes on him. Reggie Ruggerio moving into 3rd position. I believe may pull up into a qualifying spot. No correction on that. Bodine would pick up the qualifying spot
That's
for
true,
Syracuse.
because he's still relatively green and has not had a chance to pick one up as yet.
That's right, Bodine.
But he still has to finish up front.
That's right. He has to finish right up there. McCreadie riding right there in that number 2 spot. Look at Reggie Ruggerio. He's really getting the feel of that dirt modified right now. Works down here in the front straightaway. Ruggerio getting through some slower traffic. Leader, Geoff Bodine, holding on to that number 1 spot. And I think McCreadie's getting quicker right now. It's beyond the halfway point. It's show and tell time.
He's beginning to close in a little bit on Geoff. Geoff's had some difficulty working through traffic, but Bob is not letting him out of his sight. However, this is so typical of so many races that we've watched Geoff run out here, where he gets out in front, will run as fast as he has to run in order to maintain the lead. He tries to preserve the equipment.
Right now, it's the cat and mouse game, and the cat and mouse game is right here coming out at turn number 4. Geoff Bodine, Bob McCreadie, and Reggie Ruggerio closing in quickly in the Canadian number 3 car.
Tell you one thing, Joe. Geoff may be an ace at saving equipment, but he is running with his pedal to the metal here tonight because McCreadie is right on his rear bumper, and Geoff would like a little more cushion if he could possibly develop it, but McCreadie's not giving him any room to breathe.
This is where it's going to spell the difference, right here in traffic. Bodine, he's a master on going to the outside, and he goes to the outside, but it looks like McCreadie is hooked to him like a rubber band as he goes down that back straightaway. Works down into that tricky number 3 corner. This could spell it right here. McCreadie's going to look to the inside. He does, but he backs right out of there. Carl Fuzzy Van Horn is the car that is being lapped right now, and I believe Van Horn goes down 2 laps, and Van Horn gets a little bit wide. McCreadie gets on the brakes hard off of turn number 2. He now clears Van Horn. Here's your leader, Bodine, down in this front straightaway. McCreadie is 2nd. 3rd place runner is coming by right now, and that's the number 3 of Reggie Ruggerio. Your 4th place runner is Mike McCreadie. Dougie Hoffman is 5th, and I believe the number 6 it is of Brett Hearn is your 6th place runner, Kenny Brightville, car number 76, running back in 7th position. 8th place runner, Frank Cozy, car number 44, and then I believe it is Kenny Schrader in the next position.
Into the final 30 laps of this event now, and McCreadie is beginning to reel in the rear bumper of the Geoff Bodine car one more time. He was right on the rear bumper. Some lap traffic kicked him back about 10 car lengths, but he's slowly but surely reeling in that Phil Chevrolet number 1.
No question about it. Working off in turn number 2 and down the back chute. Watch McCreadie, how he can just pull right in. There he goes, reeling in the leader, Bodine. Working down here in the front straightaway. I think that they are really saving the equipment. You're going to see some shootout here coming in about the next 10 or 15 laps. And of course, the question is now, can the tires hold up? Can the tires hold up are the big question. Both Bodine and McCreadie, they've been running furiously fast out there in the 22nd bracket throughout this entire race, except under the caution laps. McCreadie stays right in the fast lane, so does Bodine.
I think one of the drivers that has really been pounding on his race car too is Ruggerio, and keeping a close eye on that automobile. That seems to be pretty well glued to the racetrack, even though we're 63 laps into the event. So thus far, I think tires are not a factor yet, but we've got 89 to go.
That's right, 20.87 last time around for Bodine, and that means he isn't backing out of that throttle at all. Look at McCreadie now reeling on him as the traffic comes up on the leader. He just got by Kenny Schrader, his teammate in Winston Cup racing, and I believe that was your 9th place runner, Kenny Schrader. So both McCreadie and Bodine have lapped into the top 10 here in this 89 lap event with 65 laps of it gone down. 20.98 in traffic for Bodine. Bodine staying right up there, now weaves to the inside. He isn't going to be making a mistake at all. Down the back straightaway, down into that tricky number 3 corner. Bodine pushes up just a little bit high. McCreadie wants to take advantage of that little push. 21.47, slowing down a little bit in traffic, and now McCreadie is right on the throttle now. He goes right down in the bearings of that motor as he comes down, and here comes McCreadie bidding for the lead again. He tried down on the outside, backed out of there. Working off at turn number 4. Let's see if we can have it change this time. 21.47, time onto the speedway in traffic. They're coming up on 6th place runner Brett Hearn right now. Just a sensational race as they go down that back straightaway.
Mike Hayslett, a good run so far for Bob McCreadie. Are you going to be able to catch up to Billy Taylor's number 1?
At this point, I don't know. They look awful strong. We're going to have some more laps to see what's going to happen, see what develops.
How are the lap times? You running even?
They're turning low 20s right now, both Bob and Geoff. It takes us a little bit longer to get going than it does Geoff. Right now, it's a wait-and-see attitude.
Well, so far, it looks like the race is turned over to the Taylor and McCreadie show. Back to the booth.
And now Bodine is back in traffic. 70 laps have been completed. We're looking for 19 more. Green flag racing. Here they come up on the outside, weaving their way through the traffic. Here's Bodine. He made a good move that time. 21.36 last time around for Bodine. Bodine and McCreadie weaving their way down the straightaways through the corners. Bodine trying to stay way up in front of McCreadie. They ran before years ago, and right now Bodine would like to stay up in front. 20.88. And I'll tell you, he's just turning on that horsepower whenever he needs it. Whenever that track is clear, he's down into that 22nd bracket. But McCreadie hangs right with him, doesn't give him any breathing room at all. Working off at turns number 3 and 4, down the front straightaway. Here comes your leader.
Joe, this is a dream come true for a driver of a big block race car, 550 foot. That's how long the chutes are. When they come off the turns with these cars, they get them aimed straight, put the hammer down, and it's like riding a rocket ship to the other end of the turn.
There's no question about it. When you turn down on this track in the 22nd bracket, you are fast. 20.63. Bodine is getting faster out there onto the Speedway racing surface. They must have given up the green light. They apparently said, is everything okay? He probably says, it's good. They says, go for it right now. 20.63 last time around. Geoff Bodine and a Billy Taylor number 1. 20.75, he's staying right with it.
Deja vu. Billy Taylor once again has chosen his favorite pit spot here in the Thompson Speedway, and every time that they have pitted right near the end of the wall, they have been victorious.
It looks like then they picked the right spot again here tonight. 20.77, he is very, very consistent. Right now, though, that traffic may spell the difference. I don't think it will, because you've got 2 expert drivers up there, and we're going to have to try and pick up again where Reggie Ruggerio is, as he is still working heavy into traffic. Leaders coming down into the front straightaway. 77 are in.
Before this is all over, Reggie could very easily, in fact, he will lap Brett Hearn, which I think is amazing for Ruggerio. He's right back here. Hearn is just heading to turn number 1. Less than a half a straightaway to separate the 2.
Okay, Bodine now taking the big red number 1 way up on the high side, clearing that traffic as he comes down the front straightaway. And wow, what a lap. 20.51 for Bodine. They pulled out all the plugs right now. 78 laps are in, 11 laps to go. Bodine looking as cool as a cucumber right now. He's just counting them off. McCreadie staying right with him. McCreadie's car trying to hold on to that number 2 spot. He isn't trying. He's well up into that number 2 position.
McCreadie is not able to close in now. Like you said, Geoff apparently got the green light from Billy Taylor, and he is ready to put the hammer down and take this thing and bring it back home, because we are now 80 laps on the scoreboard. 89 is the distance, and he is beginning for the first time in this event to seriously pull away from McCreadie and just run away at highs.
Bob McCreadie, he's going to give it that last-ditch effort. You can just tell as he comes working out of turns number 3 and 4. McCreadie's going to try to pull in on him. Hopefully some traffic will be up there, and he's going to give it that last-ditch effort. McCreadie sparks a little bit. His chassis is a little bit loose right now. This Mike Ferrati, car number 35, riding back there in a number 3 position. Mike drew a good spot. He drew the number 2 spot. He's held on to position number 3. He's doing a tenacious job holding on to that number 3 position. Ferrati is 3rd. I believe we've got Hoffman back up to the number 4 position, running 5th.
Trouble over on the back straightaway, Joe. We've got one car going up at a puff of smoke. It looks like the 125. He drops down out of harm's way. We remain under green.
That's Dougie Hoffman out of West Coville, Pennsylvania. Hoffman riding 3rd in the point standings in the school racing event. 84 are in, 5 to go. Russ, we're going to be going down trackside, so you take it the rest of the distance.
Go for it.
Doug Hoffman out of competition now in the number 125 with 5 laps to go now. It's still Bodine up in front, dealing with Dave Lake, the lap traffic as they come back across the line. McCreadie has closed in as they roll down into turn 1 with 4 laps to go. 4 to go now as they head back through turns 1 and 2. And Russ, this has been an outstanding race. These dirt cars have really put on one heck of a show.
Who would have ever thought that a mud bus could run this fast, run this competitively, and last under the horrendous conditions that existed here today, this afternoon, with the heat and just the pounding that these cars are taking running the asphalt racetrack.
Joe was talking about the tires being a factor, but they couldn't be a factor here tonight because this race has gone green flag for about 60 or 70 laps so far. And 2 laps to go now for the big red one of Geoff Bodine, and he is just about ready to lap Reggie Ruggerio, the 3rd place runner. He is absolutely flying.
Does this bring back some memories of days of old when that big red number 1 virtually own the Thompson Speedway. However, it's not over yet. We've got 1 lap to go. McCreadie now right into the rear bumper of Bodine, and Geoff is mired in traffic.
McCreadie to the inside. He makes the move, and Bodine, Ruggerio right in the way. Bodine pushes the back bumper as McCreadie gets loose. Backs out of the throttle, and that might give the race back to Bodine. But McCreadie closes right back in. Here comes Bodine on the inside. McCreadie is there. Bodine rolls off turn 4, and Jeffrey makes it 2 for 2. For the Winston Cup drivers, Schrader was the winner at Sanair, and Bodine wins here tonight at hometown Thompson Speedway. Geoff Bodine, originally of Chemung, New York, comes to victory lane tonight in the Sanair Super Dirt Series 89. And the driver of the big red one holds off barefoot Bob McCreadie to pick up the win. And the Winston Cup drivers have a lock so far this season on victory lane in the asphalt races for the dirt cars. It was Kenny Schrader out at Sanair and Geoff Bodine here tonight in hometown Thompson Speedway to pick up the win. McCreadie was second, and how about Reggie Ruggerio, ladies and gentlemen, 3rd place for the driver out of Forestville, Connecticut, his first time ever in a dirt car.
Well, we've decided one thing, and that was the question, which driver was going to do better, the dirt driver or the asphalt driver? And out of the top 4 finishers, we've got 2 from each, so I think we've decided that no decision will be reached out of this one.
Geoff, what a race. Second time a NASCAR guy's won in the dirt modified on the pavement.
Well, you know, I guess that should happen, but it doesn't mean it will. We've got a good car. It takes good equipment, and you know, Kenny Schrader won a Sanair. He's a great driver, and this car was just running really good tonight, perfect. And Billy Taylor, Phil Taylor, the whole crew has done a great job. The Hoosier tires were excellent. I couldn't believe they were going to stand up. We were kind of worried about it. Nothing tore up. We usually do that in Winston Cup racing, so we're real happy with the tires. And you know, this is a win. And I'm as excited and happy as winning Daytona 500 a few years back. I really am. Whenever you can win a race, come into a strange league, a circuit, the dirt circuit, and win. It's really a thrill. And Bob McCreadie ran a great race too. And I'm glad I got by him in traffic. That made it the easy way.
Geoff, did the flat tire at the end give you any problems?
Well, I thought I saw it on a restart going soft, the left front, but what could I do? I had to stay out there and run. The car did change handling a little bit, but it still ran good.
How many laps were you on that flat?
Whatever that last caution was, I saw it then, and from there to the end of the race.
All right, congratulations, Geoff. A fantastic win here tonight.
Thank you.
Second place isn't bad, but at least you finished this one.
That's the first blacktop race we finished since the series started last year, but you know, we did the best we could, and they just had us handled a little bit, and Geoff really knows his way around here. I learned a lot really following him. So, you know, early on I really wasn't running the right groove, and he showed me where to race really. So, I mean, it helped us some, and I'd like to race with him all the time and give him a little more competition than we did tonight.
Bobby got you going into turn one. Was it the lap traffic or just the groove you were running and the groove he was running?
I got stalled behind a lap car, you know, and not much you can do, and he almost got stalled last lap too. So it's you know, whoever happens to get the right brakes. It's a tough track. The high groove's so fast that if you get stalled a little bit, you know, the other guy's going to go right by.
Well, now that this is the first time the car's made it all the way, what's your assessment after tonight's race?
The car was excellent. You know, the guys did a great job. And our sponsors, Syracuse Frame and J.G. Turner and Tim Clement, you know, without them we wouldn't have been way down here racing, that's for sure. We're not happy with the second, but we did the best we could for tonight.
Well, congratulations. A good second place behind one of NASCAR's best.
Yeah.
Reggie, we didn't get a chance to talk to you before the race, but obviously the Pete Picknell number 3 was one of the outstanding cars.
Yes, this is a brand new race car. It only has one race on it. They ran it at Sanair and it had clutch problems. Randy Slack was driving it. And they gave it to us to run for this weekend, and boy, I can't say enough for the car. It got a good motor, good chassis, Bickwell chassis, I believe, and we put Hoosier tires on it for this race. And you know, like I said, these guys had A-frame cars, the first 2 guys. It's sort of a little bit of an advantage because with the A-frame cars, it sort of saves the tires a little bit. We had the first straight-up dirt race car, so I'm real happy.
Reggie, your crew chief, Mark Lyon, said it was your experience that put you in 3rd place. Is that what you believe, too?
Yeah, well, this track, we have plenty of laps on this racetrack, and I know where to pass. And these guys were trying to run on the bottom, and that's not the fast way around. They were trying to run in the dirt. You got to run up top to be fast.
I know this is a leading question. You like running these cars compared to NASCAR mods?
The car, like I said, is basically the same as our modified. The only thing, you're sitting in the center and you're a little bit higher up. Our modifieds go a little bit faster here with a smaller motor, so if they were to work on these cars and get the chances fine-tuned, I can't see why they wouldn't be as fast as our modifieds.
Congratulations, Reggie, on a good run.
Thank you very much.
Billy, should we say you're the happiest man in America right now?
Well, I feel real good about this deal. I think I'm right, yeah.
You've been working on it all winter long and setting up that A-frame, and with Geoff Bodine behind the car, the team clicked once again, just as it did many years ago.
Yes, it went real smooth, and we were going good with Mike at Sanair, and I was real happy with the job Mike did at Sanair, but we just had a problem there, but I'm real happy. Bobby Summers stuck by me, and he helped me with tires and stuff like that, and my brother, and Phelps Cement really did a lot for me in racing in 1989. They really did a super job, and Phil Harris Sr. really, I'm real proud of him, and Joanne, and they did a super job, and Phil and Shirley, they're there when I need them. They believe in it, and we do a good job. And all the guys on our crew.
Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.